Hey, Buck. Hey, Jerry. Brian. How y'all all doing today? Hope y'all having a good Sunday afternoon. We're starting to get a little rain here. Hey, 351 Cleveland. What's going on, brother? Hope you're doing good today. How's the fishing? Hope everybody's been having a good weekend. Y'all been up to anything special? Crappie's hitting pretty good. I bet they're hitting good here too, 351. I sure would be like to be out on the lake. I have had a busy 2 weeks. I'm hoping to get out there pretty soon though. It's it's been crazy around here. We've had a heck of a 2 weeks. My daughter went first. She went to I think Daytona or Fort Lauderdale or somewhere. Then she wound up going to on a cruise, 7 day cruise to Mexico. So I had the grand youngins, which they were good. They didn't give me no trouble. But I tell you what, I can't keep up with them. They're too old, too young. I mean, I'm too old. Oh, awesome, Brian. Did you find some good stuff? I like going to flea markets and junk sales and estate sales. I like going to stuff like that. Especially, you can find some good fishing gear at some of those places. Trying to touch up on some of my tools. When you water trap, it don't take long for these tools to set up. You got to keep them oiled up good. Good deal, Brian. I'm glad you found some good stuff. You know, they've got that world's longest yard sale thing. I think it starts in Alabama or somewhere, goes through Georgia and goes up through South Carolina, North Carolina. I think it goes all the way up to like Michigan or somewhere. I forget where it goes. It goes all the way up north. I always thought that'd be cool, but you'd have to have a mighty big trailer to ride that thing from one end to the other if you started buying a bunch of stuff. Oh, that's great. Yeah, no, you can find a lot of good camping stuff at those places too, Brian. You know, something you see a lot are Coleman stoves. It seemed like everybody in the United States had a Coleman stove at one time or the other. That's cool. You got a canvas backpack though. You don't see those at flea markets very often. Hey there, Jen. How you doing? Everybody say hey to Jen. Hope y'all having pretty weather there, Jen. We're getting a little rain now finally. They said we are going to get it by 2 o'clock. So they hit it about right. Luckily, I don't think it's no stormy stuff. It's just rain, which that'd be good for the garden, you know. But as far as I know, it's the only rain we got all the rest of the week, I think. We got some chances next week. I think it showed, but Buck, you been reloading this week? I know Jerry's been getting some good train videos out this week. '87 and sunny out. Man, I wish we were, Buck. I mean, we've been in the mid '80s, but I know we need the rain. The garden needs the rain, but I just don't like rainy days. I don't know what it is. I don't like rain. Razor, brother, what's going on? I appreciate you being here, buddy. Thanks for coming in. Hope you're well. Told them I just got. We're getting a little rain here finally. Oh, let me see. Yeah, y'all got some wind gusts, Jen. 79 and overcast. We're probably middle 80s. And we've been overcast all day, but I got out and watered the garden this morning because a lot of times it doesn't, it'll miss me. We didn't have but like a 40 or 50% chance of rain. But dang if it didn't get us today. So 6.5 Grendel. I've never messed with any 6.5 stuff, Buck. Of course, I still hadn't messed with anything yet. Well, who am I kidding? I'm still trying, but it just every time I get ready to get the bench cleared off to do some reloading, something comes up, like this Beaver job coming up. Oh, okay, Jerry, don't worry about it. You can listen, buddy. I'm glad you got pretty weather, though. There's Michael, MB Heritage Farms. How you doing, buddy? I appreciate you coming in. Hope y'all getting pretty weather, too. Man, all my stuff's coming up good, Michael. Love them seeds, buddy. Wow, Razor, y'all are up higher than us. 92. 72 is more like it for me. I don't mind staying out of the 90s. I don't. The 80s are okay, but once it gets into the 90s, I go for the air conditioning. I I'm dreading this beaver job. Y'all know I don't trap in the summertime, but this fella is a good fella. I've done a few jobs for him before, and they got some beaver that in a pond behind his church, and now they done moved out of that beaver pond and moved into their retention pond up by the church, and they built a dam on top of the spillway. So I told them I'd come down there and take care of them. But I sure ain't looking forward to it. I know it's going to be snaky out there. Hey, there's Mark's Trapping Outdoors. How you doing, Mark? I was just telling them I picked up a beaver job that I ain't really looking forward to, but I'm going to go do it. I told Stoney said I could just throw the pelts in his freezer because it's too hot to be setting pelts up right now. So I'll just freeze them till next year and then flash them and hang them up next year. Well, yeah, I gotta agree there, Razor. Humidity ain't been bad here so far, which is kind of surprising, but I know it's coming, and that's when I hate it. When the humidity starts getting us about the same temperature or the same number as the temperature outside, it gets miserable. There's old Woody's trapping. How you doing, Woody? Oh, y'all got a lot of rain, Michael. We're just now getting it. This first rain we've had all week. Woody knows all about that air conditioning. Well, Jen, I'm glad you did. I hope y'all have a good day and find you some good stuff at good stuff at Home Depot. Get you some flowers or some plants. Get you some tomato vines. Oh, there's Dan, Judith and Dan Davis. How you doing, Dan? Well, that's what I'm gonna look for, Dan. I ain't even seen this place yet. I'm going over. I'm gonna try and hook up with this fella Tuesday, and hopefully I'll be able to see some good sign, find some dens and all. I don't know if I'm gonna have access to the actual Beaver Dam or just the spillway right now. I won't know till I get over there Tuesday, but I doubt there's any bank dens in the spillway yet. Then again, there may be. It depends on how long they've been in there, I guess. But I don't know, man. I hate trapping this time of year, but I'll go over and see how many of them we can get out of there for him. Woody's at 84. That's about what we are right now, Woody. We may be a little cooler than that. It's Georgia Boy 44. What's going on, brother? You getting rain up your way too? Woody, you getting rain? And Georgia Boy, you getting rain? Who's getting rain today? There's Rockwood 64, my brother. Phil, what's going on, buddy? Gonna go do a beaver job this next week, Phil. There's James 223 DMR. What's going on, James? Hope you all are doing good this Sunday. All right, Jen, y'all take care. Oh, Mark got a lot of rain too. Man, I know the snakes are going to be out. I don't know how Woody does it year round. I don't like it. Him and Dan, either one. Hot and fat. I hear you, brother. Shoot, we don't have a whole lot of willows around here, Dan. And I'll see. I'm gonna look for chew piles and stuff, and just see what I can find down there. I hope it turns out to be an easy job. I don't want to be tromping down through a lot of thick stuff. Yeah, I am, Woody. You know I ain't gonna break a sweat if I ain't got to. No rain yet, Georgia Boy. We just now started getting it here. I don't know how much we're gonna get, but okay, Phil, sounds good. I mean, it's only like a 50% chance, so we may not even get a quarter of an inch. James is 89 and partly cloudy. Is it humid there, James? Okay, Woody. Well, you got lucky. Like I said, I know my garden needs it, but I just hate rainy days. You know, if you can't get nothing done. I wanted to cut my grass this evening, but that ain't gonna happen. Okay, 78 there, Georgia Boy. I figured y'all might have been getting a little of that rain though. Oh, no kidding, James. I'll be looking here and there. You can bet on that. I'll take something and bang on the grass and stuff too. Hopefully run them out before I get there. I usually carry my old poking stick with me and poke around the grass, keep them moving. Well, Georgia Boy, all we're showing a little bit today, and then we're not gonna get any more till next week. Seems like y'all been getting more rain north of us than we have been. So I don't know. I know, Dan. I ain't looking forward to it. Like I said, if this wasn't a good fella that He's put me on a couple of beaver jobs before, and since it's at their church, I kind of hate not to. I mean, I think that retention pond's starting to get up, overflow up toward the church. So that's the only reason I'm doing it, because it's this fella. And I done put all my stuff up for the year. Oh, so it's already raining down at your house, Phil? It just now started here. Man, I hate that, Woody. You ought to put you up electric fence like I did. I know your garden's a lot bigger, but you don't have to put posts up at, just every now and then. They get zapped by it one time, they ain't gonna come back in there. I always at. I'm pretty sure that's the same snake, James, just two different names. But both of them will come after you. That's one snake that will come after you. Yeah, that's right. They're both the same snake. They both mean as heck. That's one snake I don't like messing with. I mean, I don't like copperheads, but generally a copperhead don't want no part of you. A dang old cottonmouth, he's gonna he'll you walk up on him, he'll chase you off. But I got the old 22 rat shot for that. That's right, Buck. Whichever one it is gonna be dead by the time I get rid of him. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I don't care nothing about no snakes. This time of year is usually I get chased more by yellow jackets than I do anything. Well, so far I've had a pretty lucky season. I ain't run across no yellow jackets around here yet. I know they're out here, but I ain't ran up on them yet. Yeah, that's all I'm carrying, just snake shots, Georgia boy. Well, Woody, I agree. I'm gonna do this. I ain't gonna run this line, but for probably 7 days. Whatever I catch in 7 days is what I catch. And the hides ain't really gonna be worth much or nothing. I guess for the hatter market, that if the hatter market stays up next year, they'll probably still buy them, but they ain't gonna have no good fur on them this time of year. Probably be all bit up too. Well, that's good, James. I ain't got hardly any honeybees around here right now. Only thing I'm seeing around here so far is bumblebees and them little old. They ain't a honeybee, but they look kind of like a honeybee. They get on clover all the time. I'm seeing a few of them bees, but I ain't hardly had nothing in the garden. Oh, I hate that, Brian. Our wood bees done left, I guess, or laid their eggs and went on in, because about a month or two ago they were terrible here, and I ain't seen none of them in the last probably 2 or 3 weeks. I think they come out and lay the bore in the wood, lay their eggs, and then they die off. But I ain't seen none lately. I'd take those because they'll pollinate as good as anything. It's KY Prepper, but how you doing, brother? I appreciate you coming in. How you doing this weekend? Sure got a good looking garden going. Small water charters, how you doing, John and Lindia? John Lindy have been catching some nice ones. Oh, Woody, I forgot y'all got gators down there. I don't know part of none of that. I'll stay up here in middle Georgia where we ain't got to worry about too many alligators. There's one or two around here I know of, but I stay out of them fishing holes. They're terrible, Brian. They make a mess out of everything, buddy. I always go back behind them and just caulk up all the holes and caulk up. I've caulked the holes up with them still in the hole before. Y'all took off on me here. Oh no, James, you ought to be all right, probably. Uh, yeah, I don't think it's too late to plant them. You know, I ain't even planted my okra yet. It's probably too late. I could get a little bit of okra off of it, but I just never had time to plant my okra. I got a bunch of it in the freezer and a bunch of it canned, so I didn't really worry about it this year. Oh, John, y'all getting a lot of storms too? I tell you what, we've been pretty dry right now. Of course, y'all are just now getting into the beginning of hurricane season, I guess. So it's gonna be like that for y'all for a while, off and on. Well, that's good, KY Prepper. You, you sure are doing a good job on it. You're gonna have a good garden this year. Well, they sure are a lot easier on you, Woody. They just it's expensive to do them to start with, but once you got them in there, heck, if they last me 5, 6 years, I'm happy with them. I ain't doing near as much weeding as I usually do or tilling. That's 5 foot too long for me, Woody. Oh, I know y'all do, John, but y'all are used to them old gators. I ain't used to them here. Not in middle Georgia anyway. Tim S., my brother, what's going on, buddy? Hope y'all are doing good. Hope you're healing up good, Tim. You need to be getting out there dancing a jig for too long. Yeah, I saw that, John. Looked like it was right smack in the middle of the Gulf, maybe between Panama City and uh I don't know, between Panama City and New Orleans, I guess, or Pensacola, maybe. Tim, it don't usually make it up to us too bad. Every now and then we'll get a good rain off of that, but for the most part, most of those hurricanes that come up through the Gulf, they'll they'll come up through Alabama and usually catch from about Atlanta north. Every now and then one will bow back though and get South Georgia, Middle Georgia, South Georgia, and I mean you can get 8, 10 inches of rain in a 24-hour period when them things come through. Hey, that's good, Woody. I got some stuff planted in 5 gallon pots. Uh, Matter of fact, I got my peppers in them, and my peppers ain't doing good this year. I had a lot of aphids on them. I sprayed it. I don't know if that killed them back or if it was the aphids that already sucked the juice out of them. I'm gonna have to. I may have to get me a couple new pepper plants. That's way too big a gator for me, James. Man, I hate you got to go through another one, Tim. Dang. Why couldn't they do it all at one time? Hey, there's Chris from 740. How you doing, brother? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're getting to shoot a little this weekend if it ain't raining there. Yeah, I agree, John. Seems like the worst ones come up through that warm water. And they either cut across over toward y'all or they come straight up toward us. When it hits that warm water, it gets time to churn it up, buddy. Good, Woody. Good. I'm glad you got some in. Good grief, Georgia boy. I ain't even seen that. I wish I could ask Jen about that. I don't know how much rain she's been getting. If Bernie comes on, I'll see how much Bernie's getting down there. Or Scott and Joy, I don't know how much rain they're getting. I don't know, Jerry. Maybe not. I'm gonna make enough noise that he knows I'm in there. I'll guarantee you that, buddy. Because I'm gonna let him know for sure that somebody's stomping around in there. I don't want to run up on him. Oh, Jerry, I'm just cleaning up some tools. These are my water trapping tools, and these things get so rusted up, I have to brush them with a steel brush or a wire brush, and then soak them in some oil. That water is hard on these kind of tools like this. I mean, I don't care how much oil I keep on them. They just tighten up and rust up on me. I ought to put some PB Blaster on them, I guess. Oh man, that's awesome, Tim. That's real good. I know you didn't make your wife tote all that stuff out of there. I'd have made the guy I bought it from put it in my trunk or the bed of my truck. Yeah, it was a good score. Yeah, well, my buddy lives in Panama City, James, and when that bad hurricane came through, I guess it's been about 7, 8 years ago now. There was 12 tornadoes spun off that hurricane. They got it on both sides. Yeah, that's exactly right, John. That one it was the one that tore it just disintegrated Mexico Beach, but it got Panama City pretty bad too. But them 12 tornadoes, they said, is what did a lot of the damage in Panama City. There's Joy. How you doing, Joy? Scott? Okay, let me see. Yes, Craig, we had wicked rain and more kind. Okay, Joy. Well, that's what Georgia Boy was talking about. I hadn't even seen the news because I've had the ground monsters. I hope y'all stay safe and don't get flooded. Seems like I remember seeing that, Dan. I know you had one that just yanked some trees up. I thought that had to have been a gator. See, I'm glad I don't have to deal with none of that. I mean, all I got to worry about snakes. I ain't got to worry about the gators too. Man, that was a good auction, Tim. He probably got a pretty good price for the RCBS stuff. Oh, I bet so, John. I've carried pliers and stuff to Florida when I fish, and before I can get home, their seas slap up. Even stainless steel stuff down there don't last long. Yeah, yeah, I agree, Georgia boy. Scottish American, what's going on, brother? How you doing, Scotsman? We're just all kicking around here today. I saw where Jamie got his 1,000, and that was awesome. I sure was glad to see him get it. Yeah, I sent him a little email last night, but I just happened to click on his channel because I was going to run a banner with his stuff on it today. And I saw he had hit his 1,000, so I just texted him last night. Yeah, damn, but it sure did make a mess out there, didn't it? Yeah, Tim, and you imagine 12 of them hitting within I don't know, Panama City probably isn't 10 miles wide, if that much. 12 tornadoes in a 10-mile area, pretty much all at one time or right after the other. That was pretty bad. Plus the everything coming off the hurricane. Woo, not me, Woody. I'd have to be in a mighty big boat to be around 10-foot alligator. I want at least twice the boat. It'd have to be a 20 or 25-foot boat for me to fish for a 10-foot alligator. You know, when I was younger, I went down there and dove in Savannah. Or no, I was in Florida. I was in North Florida. Uh, all in them around those caves and all. I never thought of nothing about an alligator. They could have yanked me down, took me in one of them caves. Yeah, I don't trust them, Woody. I don't trust them. Yeah. Dan, I guess maybe if you grow up around them, you ain't as scared of them like I am. But, you know, I mean, I don't know. I say that, and I'm still scared of snakes, and I've been around snakes all my life. Huh. I've never seen that before, Mark. I'll have to look I'll have to look that up. I mean, usually PB Blaster will break it down, but I usually soak all these in some like 90 weight oil or something, and it usually they do okay unless I just let them sit up. They're okay when I'm using them. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Michael. If they bit a Georgia, a guy from Georgia, it tastes like collard greens. GGW Outdoors, how you doing, brother? I appreciate you coming in. How's y'all's weather? Don't tell me you're at triple digits yet. Hey, there's Janet, CW. Everybody say hey to Janet. How you doing in Scotland today, Janet? Hope your weather is pretty. I think y'all are just now going into summer, aren't you? Or winter, aren't you? I gotta agree with that, KY Prepper. We don't need no gators up here, do we? Yeah, I agree, Woody. I don't like none of them. Now, I won't kill old black snake or something like that if I see it. I just don't like the ones I don't see till I'm on top of them. Good Lord, Tim. Seems like I remember that. Tornadoes don't play, that's for sure. We get a lot of tornadoes that come off these hurricanes up here. We don't get the hurricane. We get a lot of rain off of them, but a lot of times it'll spring up some tornadoes. We've had two or three pretty bad tornadoes come through here already this year. Okay, Janet, it's summer. I was thinking last Sunday you were telling me it's y'all were going into fall or something. But I can't remember half the stuff. I just I'm old. I can't remember a lot of stuff. Oh, and my Janet, my squash is doing good now. I've had enough pollinators to hit it that I didn't have to brush them because I'm starting to get a lot of little squash now. 80 and a chance of thunderstorm at 4. Well, 80's not too bad for y'all, GGW. Oh man, James, I'd have had to let him have that swimming pool. Y'all got a lot of them too, Mark? Ooh, I don't need no alligators. That's just one more thing for me to have for. Yeah, I remember that tornado, Scotsman. I remember seeing all that on the news. That was bad. That's kind of like that hurricane in Mexico Beach, Florida, though, too. I mean, that was not a house standing. That whole city, whole town was gone. It wasn't nothing but concrete slabs as far as you could see. That's one reason we've talked about getting some land and just pour a couple pads and put some pole barns up, take our campers down there every summer and just stay a month or two. But man, those tornadoes and hurricanes come through there, they just level everything. Gator Nado. Well, I guess you got Sharknadoes. You could have some Gator Nados, Tim. Wow. Hey, Dan, I appreciate it. Look, I'm going to be using your Alpha Delta lure too. I ain't broke it out yet, but I'll be breaking it out using it on this trapping job. I appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, I'm hoping I'm hoping I can clear them out in a week. I don't really want to be in there more than a week. Not as hot as it is anyway. I got to go tomorrow and get my license renewed though before I can get out there and trap them. My license ran out already for this year, or it's a new year. I got to get it done for this year. All right, KY Prepper, I appreciate you stopping by, brother. Y'all have a great week. I saw the commercial for that, James, but I ain't seen the movie. Of course, I never saw Sharknado either, so I don't, I don't know. Yeah, it's amazing, Tim, what nature can do. I mean, I guess I've been blessed. We've had tornadoes come within 2 or 3 miles of us, and you know, when I was in Florida one time when I was a little kid, we had a tornado come through when we were staying with my aunt, and it ripped the door off the front of the house and blew all the screens out, and just general stuff like that, shingles and all that. But I was so little, all I remember is the noise. But other than that, I've been lucky in my lifetime. I've never had anything like that hit me. Yeah, and it does, Scotsman. It takes years to rebuild. I mean, they have to redo every bit of the infrastructure. It damages, it floods out all the sewage systems and the sewers and drains. Then you got to deal with putting up all new power lines, power poles, cable TV, internet. It takes a long time. And a lot of times they have to dig out just to be able to get to a foundation where something was. Janet, I've heard of people actually trying to crossbreed them where they would, pollinate them, where they would, like, where you could get some hot tomatoes, that kind of things. I've planted hot peppers in the same bed as my tomatoes, and I've never had it do anything. Uh, you might could, to a certain extent, but I don't know. Even if you like brushed them, I don't know how that would work. Yeah, that's right, Michael. I've never had anything happen like that. Now, one time I will say this: I planted cucumbers with my watermelons. I mean, with my uh, cantaloupes, and the cantaloupes didn't taste like cucumbers, but they just tasted. There was no taste to them. It's like they were just bland. So I never plant anything with my cucumbers anymore. Oh man, GGW, that's something else. We had that. We were out at Talladega one year, and this big. Well, it's probably a 250, 300 acre field out there, campground. There's nothing but wind, and sometimes that wind comes through there. I mean, you can get 50, 60 mile an hour wind gusts out there, and those easy up little awnings, them things were blowing across. They looked like kites going across there. I seen them pick them up and go 30 foot in the air before and go 100 yards before they come down, you know. We made a mistake. We learned to take sandbags with us after that. Oh, I don't know what's going on, Janet. Unless I hope it's not on my end. Is that right, James? Now, I've never really planted 2 or 3 different types of peppers together. I mean, I guess I could see those cross pollinating. Oh, okay, Michael. Well, I learned my lesson. I never planted my anything with my cucumbers again. Because I mean, those are the worst. Like I said, they didn't taste like cucumbers. They just had no flavor to them. So I always made sure I planted them on the opposite sides of the garden. Well, that'd be kind of nice having some hot bell peppers, James. I got where I don't plant any hot peppers anymore because nobody around here eats them, and so I don't usually plant anything except bell peppers and banana peppers. I put a lot of bell peppers in omelets and stuff. I like them. Oh, that's pretty neat, Michael. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't mind a spicy bell pepper. It'll probably do good again, James. Oh, thank you, Razor. I appreciate it, brother. Uh, what was I going to say? I didn't forgot what I was going to say now. Oh, yeah, I think something when those aphids got on my bell peppers this year, I sprayed them, you know, with the uh, soap and I mixed up that thing that's in the Farmer's Almanac, soap and a little bit of rubbing alcohol and water, and I don't know if it killed them back or if it was the aphids killed them back, but I've got one of them that just looks like it's dying out. I don't know what's. I don't think I put the concentration too high because everything else is doing okay with it. Yeah, that's right, Buck. I was glad. I sure was glad to see Jamie get that 1,000. He deserved it. He's I tell you what, he sure helped me get to my 1,000 by having me on the Georgia Shooters Connection. You know, it introduced me to all y'all guys, and I've really enjoyed it. But Jamie's a super fella. I'm surprised it took that long, but I guess maybe just because he's so quiet. I don't know, James. It said it wouldn't as long as you use like 2 parts, 5 parts water, 2 parts uh, alcohol, and 2 tablespoons of dishwashing liquid. And I mean, I've sprayed my green beans, I've sprayed my bush beans. I sprayed all our squash and everything, and it ain't, and all my cucumbers. It ain't bothered none of them. Could have just been two crappy plants. I don't know. But I mean, if they croak out, it ain't no big deal because I got a bunch of bell peppers froze already in the freezer. It was Dawn dishwashing soap, Michael. It wasn't the antimicrobial or whatever you call it. It's just regular old Dawn Blue Dawn dishwashing liquid. I mean, I figured that'd be safe. Hey, there's Andrew, County Line Adventures. How you doing, Andrew? Hope you've been doing good, buddy. You and the family. Pick me up a beaver job, Andrew. I'm probably going to go start it next week. Uh-oh. Should I stop mix? Should I stop that mix, Michael? I mean, it don't seem like it's hurt nothing else, but maybe I'll drop it back down to 1 tablespoon of Dawn then. I appreciate it, Andrew. Like I said, I'm gonna do it for a week because it's so hot. I ain't gonna be making no marathon out of it, but whatever I can get out of there in a week's what I'm gonna get out of there. Hopefully, I can catch a couple of adults, maybe a couple of 2-year-olds, and I'll be happy. They're just causing a bunch of trouble over there. So I'm just going to try and help them out best I can. One cup to 1 cup vinegar works really good. Oh, 1 cup to 1 gallon. All right, well, I'll try vinegar then, Michael. I saw that in the Farmer's Almanac, and I gave it a shot. I went ahead and uncovered all my stuff that needs to be pollinated. So, that's the ones I'm starting to see the white flies move in. They hadn't ate it up yet or nothing, or they probably laid eggs by now, but I've been, trying to stay on top of them. Hopefully everything will continue to do good. I got blooms all over my green beans. Everything's got blooms on it. So, and I got a lot of tomatoes. Tomatoes are doing really good. And I planted some more carrots too. My daughter refused to let me thin those carrots out. So she's going to buy about 10,000 pencil neck carrots. And I'm going to have me some big old honking carrots on my side of the garden. All right, Michael. Well, that'll be my next step then. I'll use that. Like I say, a lot of this stuff, that's why I tried to use the nets this year, but I didn't realize I was going to have to get them pollinated, be able to let the pollinators get to them. I hate I had to uncover them, but I know that's what I had to do. I'll be dang, Michael. I didn't know that. You know, my fence lines, I go up to the feeding seed and I get me about 10 60-pound bags of rock salt. And I pour rock salt all the way down that fence line every year. And it'll take 2 or 3 rains to do it. But when that rain starts melting that rock salt down, it'll kill everything within 10 foot of that fence. Because I don't have anything out there that I'm worried about it killing. So it kills all the weeds. It kills all the sticker bushes. It kills, if there's any trees out there, it'll kill them too. Rock salt works wonders on a fence line. And it's pretty cheap. I have looked, Michael. I guess I'm going to have to order it off the internet because I have looked all over the place around here and I have not found any of that 500 strength 7 dust. Everybody's just got the regular little whatever it is, 10%, 20% or something. I mean, if I can find some, like I said, I guess I'll have to order it offline because I can put it in my sprayer, you know, and spray it real good in the sprayer. Hey, BC Homestead, how you doing? I appreciate you coming in. Everybody say hey to BC. That's great. I enjoyed your last video. You had a good prepper haul. That was a real good prepper haul. You did good. Are you getting lots of rain up your way, BC? You're up there near MB Heritage Farms. Yeah, the powder just don't do anything, Michael. It don't. It won't touch them. Oh, I bet you are, BC. It's been hot here too. Uh, Luckily my daughter was pulling weeds today. I didn't have to do it. I was glad to see her get out there and start pulling some. Oh, I'd appreciate that, Michael. Like I said, I can't find none around here. I don't mind ordering it online, but I just hadn't been able to find any. Even like Tractor Supply ain't had none. I figured if anybody cared, Tractor Supply would have it. We don't have Pike Nurseries or any of that stuff around here, so. Oh gosh, I figured you'd be getting some of that rain too, BC. Well, I've had the water out of the spigot every day for about the last 10 days. Finally got a little rain today. I think it's already gone now, though. I don't think it rained very long. So, about time. I usually put out some fish emulsion about every other week. About time for me to put some of that out. Because I hadn't put any out this week. I know the garden seems to do a whole lot better when it's rained, right, as compared to, you know, chlorinated water. It doesn't do near as good with city water. If you're on well water, it's not so bad, but if you're on city water, they treat it with so much stuff. I don't think the plants can take it in like they do rainwater. Yeah, I use Amazon pretty good bit, Michael. I think my daughter's got Amazon Prime, so oh, thank you, BC. I sure appreciate that. We always have a good bunch of folks in here. Any of y'all that ain't got BC Homestead, y'all need to pick her up. She's a great gal. Yeah, stuff don't seem to be loosening up very good. You're welcome. I may have to soak these things in some oil because they ain't loosening up real good. A couple of them did, but a couple of them ain't. I tell you, I got we'll be picking uh squash this week probably. We got a pretty good bit of squash. Yeah, I've already picked one mess of turnip greens and collard greens, and I'm about ready to pick another mess of them. All my green beans are blooming, so won't be long. I'm starting to get some little bitty green beans on them, but won't be long before we start having some green beans. I think I got a few little pickles coming out, or cucumbers too. My daughter said we had some. I didn't see them. Blast anthem. No, Woody, I don't even know what that is. Oh, thank you, Michael. I sure appreciate it, buddy. I'll get on that tonight. Uh, I never heard of that, Woody. Must be some South Georgia stuff. Oh, you talking about PB Blaster? Yeah, I got some in the barn and I forgot I didn't bring it out here. I may have to PB blast it and then re-oil them again. These come out pretty good. So it's mainly them pliers. They don't want to they don't want to work right. Ugh. Yeah, I may have to try some PB blaster on them, Woody. I mean, heck, I sanded them. I hit them with a steel brush. That should have broke them loose, but maybe it'll take care of them. I mean, they ain't got to be that good a shape. I can open them and close them. And my luck, I'll probably drop one in the lake and lose anyway. Yeah, Michael, I appreciate that, buddy. Woody, did the deer get all your garden or just certain sections of it? As long as I put that little electric fence up out there, and I ain't got but 2 strands going across. First time them young ones get popped, it scares them enough they don't come back in there. They usually don't hear anyway. Now, I still throw corn out for them down here in the back, and everybody said don't do that. That'll lure them in there. But I mean, they're right there in the woods anyway. It ain't like they're coming in just for the corn. GGW, that's what Mark's Trapping was talking about. I've never heard of that. You get it at like at a car part place, or you get it at Home Depot? Where do you get that from? I'll dang sure try some. I've never heard of it. Oh man, they didn't get your squash, Woody. I hate they got everything else. You had a big old garden out there. Hey, there's Dan G23. How you doing, buddy? Glad to have you in here. I guess I can go ahead and say it now that Dan's here. Lingua. Okay, Napa's got it. Well, I'll run by Napa and get me some then. All right. Well, I'll look for it. I'll go. I'll be out and about tomorrow. I'll try and find some tomorrow. Yeah, I'll definitely try some because that stuff's done seized up on me. I hope my traps ain't all rusted shut. It's definitely harder to set old traps that ain't been cleaned for the year and been. I may have a few that I've already waxed and I just hadn't used yet. All right, an orange can. I'll definitely hit Napa tomorrow and see if I can find some up there. Or there's a O'Reilly's Auto Parts up here too. Be a lot easier than what I'm doing now. Yeah, that stinks. I think anybody that's had a garden has been through that before. I'm telling you. Last year is when they got me so bad. I went fishing in Florida. And when I come back, I didn't have a garden. It was completely gone. They ate my okra down to the dirt. They ate all my green beans. They ate all the tops off my carrots. They even ate a lot of the tomato bushes down. And then, of course, I put the camera out there, and that's when I started seeing them damn coons coming in there eating my tomatoes. I never knew coons ate tomatoes, but they sure will. They went right by my corn to eat the tomatoes. So if I start seeing, I might put the camera back out there. If I see any coons coming in again, I just have to put me a couple coon traps out there because they're short enough. They'll go right under that electric fence. Yeah, that's true. Damn, they're opportunists. If they can reach it, they're going to eat it. Yeah, GDW. I think that was the problem. They didn't want to have to pull the stalk over when they could just walk over and eat tomatoes. They ate the heck out of my tomatoes too. Hey, there's Dave Neal. How you doing, Dave? Hope you've been good this week. Your weather's good. Is still hunting season over your way? Yeah, I've seen a few doing that too, Georgia boy. I've seen them sitting on that. In the daytime, I don't cut my electric fence on, but I've seen them redbirds sit on the electric fence, and when they see one, they swoop down and grab him off the plant. I have had them light in my corn stalks too, and then just sit up there and wait till they see a hornworm. That's right, Michael. I tell you what though, I left the net over my tomatoes this year, and I've just been, every time I go by there, I just pop on the net, and they've been self pollinating between, inside that net. I've got tomatoes everywhere in there, and I ain't had to uncover them, so I'm afraid that hornworms don't get in there. If I can keep the hornworms out this year, I'll probably actually get some tomatoes. But they kill my tomatoes plants every year, and I'm gonna try it. I'm going the whole season with a net on that thing. Yeah, I know, Woody. It's hard not to though. I went back last year and replanted everything and wound up getting a decent garden last year after the deer had destroyed it the first time. So, luckily we're here in Georgia. We got enough time to actually have two growing seasons on a lot of stuff anyway. But I won't go without electric fence anymore. Well, Scotsman, I've seen a lot of wasps this year. What I'm waiting on is to see how bad the yellow jackets are going to be because the ground bees ain't really come out good here yet. But I just about bet you we're going to have a terrible year with yellow jackets this year. I've seen a lot of them in the woods when I was trapping, but man, I fight them yellow jackets bad every year. The wasp here ain't as bad as the yellow jackets, but we have a lot of yellow jacket nests around here. And I have seen a couple of hornets already get stuck in that netting out there. So I got a hornet's nest somewhere around here. I don't know where it's at. Yeah, BC. I mean, it happens. Like I said, the only way I found to stop it is put electric fence up, and it don't cost that much. And once it's up, it's up. You don't have to worry about nothing else other than maybe coons getting in there. But you don't have to worry about deer no more. Oh, that's awesome, Michael. Those are cool. You take out a few garden pests with that too, buddy. All right. I appreciate you listening. But yeah, go and have some fun, man. What do, Dan? Pour it around the base of the tomatoes or pour it on the tomatoes? Ah, Woody, I think we all are, buddy. I think we all are. You ain't no crazier than none of the rest of us. Oh, that's awesome, Dave. Well, I hope you're feeling better. I know you were under the weather last time I talked to you. I hope you're doing a lot better and sounds like you're up and about. Oh, Georgia boy, they ain't nothing worse than that, man, except maybe chiggers. But chiggers just the gift that keeps on giving, you know. But yellow jackets are bad. I know, Woody, but I'm telling you, if you put your electric fence up down there around that garden, you wouldn't have near the trouble. Hey, there's Shasta Valley Outdoorsman. How you doing, Shasta? Appreciate you being in, brother. Hope y'all are getting a little rain and not too much rain. Oh, is that right, David? Or Dave? Well, I tell you what, I think mice and rats will eat anything. You know, I know they'll eat tomatoes. They'll eat, heck, they'll eat squash on the ground, anything that's on the ground where they can reach it. Mice and rats will eat it. You know they eat everything else. So, but it may be like your brush-tailed possums. A coon's kind of like a rat. It'll eat anything. All right, James. Well, I'm gonna keep riding my four wheeler because I don't want to exercise. Well, I may do that in my around my cabbage then, David. Dave. I don't know why I keep saying David. I may do that around my cabbage, Dave. That might keep those snails out of my cabbage. That seems to be the only thing that really bothers my cabbage is slugs or snails. Oh yeah, was somebody asking about the yellow jackets? Oh, I done missed a bunch of stuff. I'm sorry, y'all. I'll be darned. All right, Dan, I'll try that one too. Shasta says it's turned off dry there. Yeah, pretty much here too, Shasta. Yeah, I have to try the dog bowl trick too. You got that right, Georgia boy. They're little damn ground demons. There's Rob, New York Outcast. How you doing, Rob? What's going on today? Yeah, that'll work, Rob. It don't do much for the deer though. They don't care much about a hand. Well, Shasta, I know the mice will do it. I've not had any squirrels in my garden yet. Now I got chipmunk. I mean, yeah, chipmunks, but they don't usually do nothing except burrow holes and everything. They don't eat a lot of my stuff. They just can't get the pumpkin in their mouth, probably, Shasta. All right, GDW, we're gonna have to try that, ain't we? All right, Dave, I'll go ahead and get me some and put me a couple of bowls out there around my cabbage. I'll be darned. All right, Dan, I'm trying your method too. I'm trying it around my tomatoes. Shasta. Well, maybe they'll be a little slower and a little easier to kill. Rob, did y'all ever get the canoe out? Oh, I don't think we got German wash, Dave, but they don't sound good. Dang, Shasta, y'all got too many critters out there. The chipmunks ain't bothered nothing around here, Georgia boy. Nothing I've seen yet. Now they probably got whole tunnels all under my house I don't know about, but oh, awesome. Awesome, Rob. There you go, Woody. That's what you need to do. Hang you some tannerite and some little cans around the garden. Just shoot the tannerite around the outside of the garden. Awesome. That's good, Rob. If the weather's been good, that's good to get out and paddle around. Yeah, me too, GGW. I'll definitely be using dark beer. Oh man, Shasta. I'm telling you what, I don't miss those rattlesnakes. I'm sure I got them under my house too, Georgia boy. I see them. There's about four of them that just circle my house constantly every day. But they can go from 1 yard back over to the hole in the ground, and they'll have so many. I guess, well, it's every kind of nut there is at trees on the trees out here. There's red oaks, white oaks, there's pin oaks, and they're constantly carrying them nuts back and forth to that hole. Shasta, I hear you, brother. Right on, Dan. Right on. That's right, Woody. I tell you, like I said, I don't. Deer are the only thing that usually bother my garden. Deer and coons. That's the only two things. I got an armadillo I see every now and then, but he don't seem to come in the garden much. Hey, Dave, I hope you have a great week, buddy, and be careful out there and then enjoy yourself. I really appreciate you being in with us. Yeah, I'll definitely try some beer on my tomato roots, and I'll try some beer in a bowl for my cabbage. I'm hoping within, I don't know, next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll be eating some tomato sandwiches. I hope they'll start turning red pretty soon. That's right, Rob. Oh, crap. Didn't open. That's right, Dan. That's what melatonin's for. Yeah. Woo, I got it. I got a leaker here. Wow. That's some strong beaver caster. Pretty strong. Pretty strong right there. All right, that's going to be going in the trapper's bag. Alpha Delta caster lure. And that stuff's strong. What's everybody got coming up this week? Anything special? I know I'll probably be. I got to go get my license renewed tomorrow and go pay a few bills. Then Tuesday, what I got to do? Tuesday, I'll go down and look at that beaver job. Then I pretty much I'll probably go metal detecting a couple of days during the week. And then next week, I'm going to start on the beaver job. I tell you what, Woody, that was some stout stuff. I had a little spillage in the package. When I opened it up, boy, it hit me in the. It'll take a little while to get that off. That's some good caster lure, though. He makes some good caster lure. They'll probably be lined up at the door out here, won't they, Woody? Yeah, go ahead and do it, Dan. I ain't made a video in probably 2 weeks. I don't know. I need to do something, but I know everybody's tired of looking at the garden, so hopefully I'll get one out when I do the beaver video. Oh, that's neat, BC. That's really cool. Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone was two of my favorites when I was a kid. I loved those TV shows that used to come on. I don't know about that one, GDW. All right, some of y'all let him in, let GGW know about that. I don't know if there's anything you can do to break that glue down. I mean, not without soaking the whole stock. And then that stuff's going to get in the stock. Is there anything that breaks glue down like that? Wow. You're halfway there, Daniel. Dan's pretty close. Well, that's what I was going. That's what I was thinking, GGW. But I mean, I didn't know how bad it would soak up into the wood if it discolored or anything. But I mean, that's the only thing I know that to take it that would break that glue down. Okay, Woody, I will. I'll go back and look because I don't remember seeing that one. I don't know, Dan, if acetone and denatured alcohol don't do it, gasoline probably wouldn't do any more than that. Plus, it'd be cleaner. Yeah, let us know how it goes, GGW. I don't know anything unless you could some way shoot a hypodermic and shoot it into that wood somewhere somehow in that joint. Let it start breaking it down from the inside. Hey, Mark, I sure appreciate you being in here, brother. And thanks for the good luck on the job. Hopefully, it'll go smooth. I'll let y'all know soon enough. But I hope y'all have a great week, Mark, and fire up the bread maker. You and your wife have a great week, buddy. Heck, GGW, those acetone and denatured alcohol is pretty dang strong. I mean, as a solvent, I don't see if there's anything stronger than that. All right, Woody, thank you a lot, buddy. I'm getting ready to cut out here shortly, too. I appreciate you being in here, and I'll check out that gator video. All right, I tell you what, y'all talk amongst yourselves a second. I've got to wash this off my hands. I'll be right back. Okay, that's much better. Oh, I got the clutch put in the Jeep finally. It's running good. Now I got to do all my steering stuff up under it. Got to do my sway bars and my probably put leaf spring bushings in everything. I got to tighten up front end because it's wanting to swerve with me a little bit. Steering box is tight. I think it's just all the bushings and all that stuff's just wore out, falling out from under it. No, it's not bad now, Dan. It's still in the room, but my fingers are a lot better. Castor lure don't really stink like a coyote lure or something does, but it's strong. It's a strong smell. I mean, when you're skinning a beaver, you'll smell it before you ever take the castor glands out. It's deadly though. You put just a little bit on a stick, and them beavers are gonna come to that castor smell. They're gonna come check it out. And Dan, Judith, and Dan Davis, he makes some good castor lure. I probably got, I don't know, I've got a couple of pounds in the freezer in the house, but prices went down so bad this year. 2 years ago, it was $100 a pound, and now it dropped down to like 40 or $50 a pound this year. So I'm just going to keep it in the freezer, keep hanging, just keep loading it in the freezer until the prices go back up. I should have sold it when it was $100 a pound, but I didn't. I'll have to get all my stuff out there. I've already swapped over everything from trapping to reloading now, and now I'm gonna have to get everything back out, which I'm only gonna get out what I have to have, so maybe I won't have to get out too much stuff. And I'm just gonna skin them and put them in Stoney's, put the hides in Stoney's freezer till next year. I ain't gonna hang them and flesh them and do all that stuff. It's too hot for all that right now. I bet they're everywhere, Dan. I mean, we're covered up with them. Every state's covered up with beavers.
Learning how to choose the right audio apps
Holy
for you.
cow!
Which one do you want to
My
use?
phone started talking to me. It's just a matter how liberal your trapping laws are. Like us, they're considered a nuisance here. We trap them year round if we want to. I would if it wasn't for so hot and all the snakes, but I just don't like trapping unless it's cold. But just about every body of water in Georgia has got beavers in it. Especially if you're near a river, you're going to have a lot of beavers. Oh, okay. That's y'all's state deal as beavers. The funny thing is, Dan, we don't hardly have any peach orchards anymore. The weather's got so screwy, it usually kills off most of our. I guess we still do statewide, but around here, seems like the cold kills out our peach orchards every year. Probably down South Georgia toward Woody, they probably still do okay down there. But I remember when I was a kid, there was peach orchards everywhere around here. Now you just don't see peach orchards in my neck of the woods anymore. There's a lot of apple orchards up north near Georgia Boy. There's just north of Georgia Boy. There's a lot of big apple orchards up there. I imagine Georgia's biggest cash crop now is probably pot. There's probably enough little small grow outfits around. They're probably growing pot now where the peach orchards were. We grow a lot of peanuts in Georgia too. South Georgia's peanut heaven. Is that right, Dan? Well, it's kind of like us. Like I say, when I was a kid, peach orchards were everywhere. Everywhere. Now you just don't see them. I think there's more money in selling the land for subdivisions than there is in peaches. So they probably sold all the peach orchards to build 500 house subdivisions, you know. You know, BC, I've never tried to grow them. I know friends of mine who've grown them. I usually just buy them at the farmer's market. My problem here is I've only got so much room. If I had 4 or 5 acres, I'd probably try and grow me some peanuts. One of these days, maybe I'll get me a little more land. Ah, well, you got enough room, Michael. I don't. So, see, I need some land like Michael has got up there. I'd like to have at least 3 to 5 acres, and I'd be happy. If I had me an acre of farmland, I'd be pretty happy. Really, an acre and a half. I'd probably plant a half acre just in corn. Yeah, I agree, Dan. That's true. The houses around here are going for a pretty good bit of money right now. But the problem is you can't find any more land, you know? And I really don't want to move out of state. I could if I had, if I had to. But land is just outrageous and there just ain't enough of it. So, I mean, I'm probably planning on staying here and then buying me and my buddy buying that property down in Florida and just have a place to go to in the summertime and then come back up here in the winter and trap and all. Because I just don't really think I want to move to Florida year round because I don't want to trap around a bunch of alligators for one thing. And I don't think their laws are near as liberal as our laws are. So, yeah, I think corn, I would definitely have a lot of corn. I'd probably do about, well, I'd like to have a half acre in sweet corn and then maybe a quarter acre in grain corn. That would be awesome. And then have me about a 1 acre garden. So if I'd probably need 5 acres to do that. Because KY Prepper says he's got his own little corn mill, uh, that he uses to grind corn and all. You can make your own cornbread, cornmeal. You can make anything you want to with it. Yeah, Dan, you know, you got to stay where you're both going to be happy, though. Y'all have to find a happy medium. Because I'm telling you now, it gets pretty dang humid in Georgia. That's for sure. Well, I've done that a couple of times, Dan. I can't say nothing about that. I don't know. There's a lot of things about Georgia I don't like, but overall, I can't think of too many other places I want to pull up stakes and move to just because it's not that different in any state you go to. But you know, I would like to have the place down in Florida where we get the summer down there. Just take my camper, set it up, and just stay for a couple of months, you know. But I don't think I want to live there year round. Oh yeah, BC. That's see, I mean, land is they're offering good money right now too. But the thing is can you find something else comparable to it that you're going to enjoy? You know, that's what you know what I mean. If I had a privacy fence here, I'd be happy because then I could grow stuff right down the side of the fences and section it off and do stuff. But overall, I don't mind where I'm at. It's just not enough land for me. And I could probably buy the lot next to me and the lot behind me, but they're wanting like $10,000 to $15,000 an acre for that, and I'm just not going to pay that in the city like where I'm at right here. If I was going to do that, I'd buy 5 acres out in the country, somewhere it's zoned agricultural. I don't want to be zoned residential. You know, it's hard to nowadays to find land in an area you like. You know, you don't ever know. And as soon as you move and do something, then they turn right around and build a 500 house subdivision right behind you. Then you're back in the same boat you were in. That's the way it is in Georgia anyway. They're developing Georgia so much, so fast. Good gosh, Razor. Well, I definitely couldn't live in your neck of the woods. Hey, EDC for fun. How you doing, brother? Appreciate you stopping by. I mean, I could not do that. That's way above my what I could ever afford. Michael. All right. Don't be getting in trouble on my live stream. Hey, Uncle Jim too. How you doing, Jim? What's going on, buddy? I appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, Michael, don't be getting in trouble on my live stream. You better do it on your live stream. No, man, I remember here when I first got out of high school, I was looking at 5 acre lots and it was $1,500 an acre. And my daddy said it had been clear cut. My daddy said, you don't want this land. It's old scrubby looking stuff. Blah blah blah. So he talked me out of it. That's those same lots right now are in a subdivision. I guarantee you they paid $50,000-$60,000 a lot for those lots. That's amazing, Razor. I mean, that's hard to comprehend almost. It's like that in downtown Atlanta here, but out in the country, it's not like that. But you're talking 10 to 15,000 an acre. Now that's just country, nothing out there, no amenities, nothing. You get into a more uh, something like a subdivision or something like that, you're gonna pay 25 to $100,000 an acre. But I ain't talking about I want just country land. Well, GGW, I don't see how people do it. I made decent money when I was working, but you'd have to be making killer money to afford stuff like that. Wow, BC, I don't know. I guess that's another reason I'm staying in Georgia, I guess. Hey, Porcupine, thank you for coming in. Yes, that was Lakeshore High School. I I bet my parents didn't pay $1,000 for an acre when we lived where I grew up. I may be wrong, but I bet back then it was probably less than $1,000 an acre. Well, BC, if it's a nice rural area, that's what people are wanting nowadays. Yeah, Razor, that's the problem. Says they're selling to builders, and all these big subdivisions. You can't afford that. I don't want that though. That's the reason I want more land out in the country. Right, Michael. I tell you what, I'm I'm gonna stay in Georgia then. I can't. I couldn't afford to pay that. Is that right, Dan? Yeah. I agree, Jim. I want it to be zoned uh, agricultural. I don't want any type of amenities. Just leave me alone. That's all I want. Yeah, GDW, you're gonna have to, I guess you're just gonna have to get out and keep going like I'm talking about. Cause you're not gonna get anything for $10,000 to $15,000 an acre anywhere near a city here. I don't care if I'm out in the sticks and don't see anybody but once a month. I probably wouldn't come off my property but once a month. Yeah, Jim, I'm done working for anybody. I might do something myself, but I won't have a boss ever again. Yeah, that's ridiculous, Razor. And it's all ridiculous, you know. But, and that's the deal. I'm 62 years old. I've been in debt so bad I can't afford to live my last few years. So I'm not going to borrow that much money or dump that much money into something that's going to cost me that much the rest of my time I'm alive anyway. So I mean, if it gets where land is that outrageous, I'll stay right where I'm at because I mean my home loan's like 3.5%, 3.25%, something like that. You're not going to touch that now. You're probably paying 10% on a loan nowadays, 8 or 10%. I don't know what mortgage rates are right now, but I know I will never pay 8 or 10%, 8 to 10% for a home mortgage loan. Hey Jim, I would if I could find somebody to trade something for. Nobody wants anything anymore. They just go to the store and buy it. Maybe I could hawk my fig jelly or something, you know. If I knew how to make mucklucks, I could put all my fur around on mucklucks and sell them, I guess. Well, y'all, we've been on about 2 hours now. I guess I need to get out of here and go cut my grass and do some stuff around in the garden. But I appreciate y'all being here. I'm so glad Jamie got his 1,000 subscribers. So we're having a good, it's been a good week. Hey, Porcupine, I'll take it. I'll sure do it. Anything Ruger, I'm happy with. I know, BC. It's, they're going to have to come down or something's going to have to happen. I don't think, yeah, Jim, I can do hats, coonskin caps, I guess. I don't know if it'll ever come down like I guess it does. I mean, I'm sure we have trends that go up and down, but it take a long time to get back to 3.25% interest, I think. So, but y'all, I'm gonna go on. Thank y'all so much for being here. It's always a pleasure having all y'all and talking to everybody on Sunday evenings, Sunday afternoons. But thank y'all, and I reckon I'll see y'all on the next one.